Tonight is about owning your feelings. So I'd like to ask you a question. As the mom of a child with autism, what is the predominant feeling that you experience a lot of the time? You probably know by now that I'm the parent of now adult, a 22-year-old young man with autism who is doing well, but has had many, many trials and tribulations. I myself spent a great deal of time feeling angry, shameful, and humiliated because I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't understand why I couldn't manage things. I got the distinct feeling from people out in the public that I couldn't control my child and what was wrong with me. I had him in several different programs and therapies, and nothing helped me as his mom. And that shame and humiliation really took a toll on me, as I'm sure it has on you, but it almost prevented me from getting help. The help that I knew I needed, but I was too fearful to take action. And what I want you to understand is that you deserve to own your feelings and own your emotions, because as a parent to your child, you have been kicked to the curb, okay? You have been given a message that with therapy, your child will be fine. And even if your child has had therapy, chances are at home that things are not fine. And probably like me, you feel that things should be fine. And because they're not, you assume it has to do with you. And I want you to know that that is not the case. This is not your fault. There are, I've talked to hundreds of moms over the last couple of years, and 95% of them feel the exact same way that you do. So for those of you who are watching here, thank you for joining me. And I'd like to ask you what the predominant emotion that you feel as a parent to your child with autism is. And if you're watching this on the replay, I'd ask you to please put in your comments in the comment section, because I want to really understand what it is that you're feeling. So in my group, there's been a lot of really great conversation recently about parent training. And some of the moms in the group have come forward and shared their experience. Hey there, Dr. Jeff. And it's been really exciting because they have shared their experiences of success, and success that they never thought they would see. So it's been wonderful for me because as an advocate of parent training, it's great for people to come forward and say, you know what, this works. It really does work. And we've had some amazing stories. So that is the coolest thing ever for me. But most moms that I talk to and that I see in other Facebook groups don't even realize that there's an option other than therapy for their child. And so of course they're angry, of course they're advocating for therapy, but ultimately many of them don't even know that there is another option that is going to give them back their power, because they are still under the misguided assumption that when their child has therapy, that things will get better at home. And that's not the case most of the time. I can tell you 95% of the time. In 2017, I surveyed over 100 moms, and most of them had their children had been in therapy. And well over 90% said that they still felt incompetent as moms, as parents. They experienced shame, humiliation when going out in public, guilt, and they were afraid to own these emotions because they felt it was because of them, that they were doing something wrong. And this makes me so angry because this is not the case. So I feel like there's kind of a new wave happening, that moms are starting to get the message that they can do something. And let me tell you, what I did for my child changed the game entirely. You know, so much so that I was trained by the founders of the program a couple of years after we got things under control. And I've been doing it ever since, because I believe so strongly that you, yes, you, have the power to make dramatic change, far more than any therapist does. But I feel what might be holding you back from taking action is your own feelings of those, you know, feelings that we don't want to talk about, right? That guilt and shame and humiliation. And it really, you know, it tears us apart, and we lose our you know, our true north, and we lose faith in our own ability as parents, because we have lost that sort of intuitive parenting, whatever you want to call that, that we have when we have a typically developing child. And it's heartbreaking. So I want to tell you just a quick story about a mom that I worked with, very recently, who has 2 girls on the spectrum. And she found out about me, and we talked, and she said, you know, my kids have been in therapy and nothing has helped. And she was constantly doing what anyone would do, right? Getting angry, frustrated, yelling, right? Because she didn't have any other tools. So once we got working together, everything changed, because she was able to see everything differently. Like, she was looking through a different lens. And we can't parent our children on the autism spectrum the way we parent typically developing children. It's just, it doesn't work that way. So I want you to own those emotions. I want you to acknowledge them, but I also want you to acknowledge, if you're the kind of parent that really wants to give your child a shot at life and have a happier household and a happier family, if you're that kind of parent, then I want you to know that parent training can do that for you. And I've been doing this for, 14 years now, and the results are incredible. So all it takes is for you to accept what you're feeling, and then know that change is possible. And if this resonates with you, and parent training is something that you want to look into, then I want you to message me, because you are the one who can make the biggest difference in your family. Despite what anyone has told you, you are not helpless. You should not be feeling that shame and that humiliation. That is absolutely wrong. You are a wonderful mom, and you deserve to feel like a wonderful mom. And you can learn how to feel like a wonderful mom. And what's happening right now is not your fault. Okay, so have a good night, and message me if you want to learn more about parent training. Where I live right now, parent training is now funded. I have a wonderful online program that is funded. So message me if this speaks to you. All right, thank you very much for joining me. Bye for now.